More bad things.
Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. They made it to shore.
Oh, I'm a bush today. What happens if I just summon an incarnate next to them? Oh, it's a great way of initiating combat. And this is a blood incarnate, which can summon a swarm of mosquitoes. I love it. It's got freaking lifesteal. Oh. Ooh. I mean, it's also totally going to die. But, you know. Blood totem. Yeah, that's a thing. That happened. What happens if I do give him this infusion? Just whoa! It does bleeding. Blood totem, bleed damage. That makes sense. Ooh, they're really flimsy though. That's perhaps the main downside there. Not in the toolbox's turn, because it's the incarnate's turn. Has this bugged? It is my turn. It's my incarnate's turn. Can I, The totems are best as range support. Yeah, perhaps summoning them right on the front line wasn't the best idea. But, you know. This is not ideal. Anyone seen this happen? Ah, wrong character selected. Noted. Well, that's important. That's worth knowing. Throw a projectile that deals damage. Oh, you can use it in melee without... Ooh. Still alive. Still alive. I'm just going to throw one down there. I want it on the blood because it's cool and it makes them bleed. And that is worth doing to me. Suck it, blue. Holy... I was about to say, how my Voidling was still alive, I'm not sure.
We're supposed to keep those things at bay.
So the summoner so far, and this may change, but seems very capable of summoning quite a lot, but quite flimsy summons. Right? Like... Because also with the damage they're doing, if I could get a lot of these summons out at once, it would be absolutely wrecking faces. Did that insect thing stick a tongue up the butt? Look, we don't judge. Okay, we do not kink shame. Wait, what's this? Sir Laura. So you get better summons. Good.
Another giant. My word, this blasted isle is teeming with them.
Sorry, we need to discuss what that is. That is a squirrel. Wearing a skull as a helmet. Riding on an undead cat?
What's that? Yes, I did see how it made short work of the great acorn servants. Quite right, very impressive.
It's a squirrel knight riding on an undead mount. Someone wonderful did get me this Vortan, didn't they?
But that is no reason to trust it.
This game's great already. Like, that is a squirrel knight riding an undead mount. So this is the DLC squirrel that you guys were on about earlier. I see. Right.
What? Dear me, have you taken leave of all 6 of your senses? You would have me use this giant for a shield? Why would I...
Is this guy about to join me?
Oh, I see. You cunning devil, Quirkus. Of course.
Am I about to get the weirdest first party member? All praise the great acorn. Oh god. It's happening, isn't it? It's happening. This is Yakuza again. This is sodding Yakuza again. How? Laugh and tell him he's quite welcome to follow in your shadow.
Gad, it speaks our tongue, Quercus. Hush before. What do you mean a good time for introductions? You know full well who I am, you silly old cat. The great Salora, grandest of the... Oh, introduce myself to the giant. I shall do no such thing. You give away your
Keeping him
trust
alive
too
is tough as he
easily, my
follows
dear
you, but you
steed.
cannot control it. Oh, have we got to keep him alive? Oh,
No.
in
we will have the
Tactician
giant
difficulty?
march. In time, we'll see whether it deserves...
That little prick will follow you for the game and do the square root of FA.
Now, onwards! Shield!
Oh,
Venture forth,
no.
post haste. The great acorn waits for no one.
Okay, good. I've made a new friend. Ooh, crafty weaponry. Read it. New recipe. Yes. I'm not picking up those books. In the first game, I didn't bother picking them up because you just fill your inventory with books you've already read. And there's no Goram point in that. Oh, look who it is. It's the red boy. Hey, buddy.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red colour. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep.
Two very different ways of introducing ourselves here. I'm so glad to see you, so glad you survived. Or, listen here, Prince Boy. I've got a bone to pick with you, so that's clearly the option we're choosing.
The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
Yes, I imagine you do. You're made of sterner stuff than I first gave you credit for. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the ship.
Good to know you still
Did
have
you
a
not
soul.
return to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Oh, good.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Glad to be of help.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we?
The sass. I love him.
Now then, if there's nothing further,
What are you doing?
I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean?
As of last night, I see a kraken-infested wasteland that I never want to go near again.
Touché.
Touche. Don't get carried in the hero thing.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire.
Okay.
I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost.
Sorry, Ed. I don't know if I gave away the idea that I was going to go with less party members earlier. I was just asking about the logistics of it. I am going to have a full party. I'm going to do it. What do you mean by lost?
What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire
McGillicuddy.
that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am?
I've never heard of an... I've never heard of an abacus that can tell who people are. I'm going to pick the jester option every time we get the opportunity.
Well, more's the damn pity, isn't it?
The Haughty Prince of Sass. I love the Haughty Prince of Sass. He's great. Posture check. Thank you, Blacksmith.
I
Oh,
am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World Tamer, the Spouse of the Sun.
wait. Does this guy want to bone the sun?
Of course you know me.
Because that's a bad idea.
There's a brief moment's pause. during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
Oh, grandiloquent? What a word!
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment.
He would get burned, right? Just a little bit.
The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have.
I love that one of the options there is, say it's been absolutely riveting, but I must dash. Now I'm going to invite him to travel with us.
Truly.
He's sunburnt.
Kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough.
People have been telling me that.
For the other
Vortan,
matches
take
after
Fane.
all.
Make sure you take Fane, get Fane, have Fane, use Fane, 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 Faney, Fane, Fane. So yes, I am going to take
I
Fane.
accept.
Worry not.
On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of our kind's revered mystics. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company.
Sure thing.
Jolly good.
Before we go, you should know I'm undead.
Oh my word, how you do astound me. Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me?
Well, no duh.
But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold the petty prejudices of common folks. In fact, I prefer the exceptional in all things. Your secret is safe with me.
Nice.
So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out, it goes without saying.
Yep, we're going to
As
fight a lot
born
of things.
Fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you?
You didn't mention it before. I think you're just thinking fast and just acting like you knew. And the thing is, with the Red Prince, we'll never know. We'll never know if that's the case, because that is absolutely something this sasspot would do. But we'll never find out, will we? Okay, so let's think. Judging from the classes I've seen, I myself am a summoner. I want to have an archer in my team, but I don't feel like the Red Prince is the archer. I want to have like a rogue who's going to be in charge of thievery and backstabbing. It's a very simple job, but I don't feel like he's the rogue. I'd also like to try a polymorph, and I feel like he's the polymorph. I feel like that's the way I want to go with him, is by using him as a polymorph. What do you think? I can't remember, I don't know where polymorph's going to be. Yeah, you can make them anything. Like, and this is, so this question is just about like what I want him to start with, and obviously it makes sense to pick what I want him to start
Wizardry is
with.
embedded in my nature as deeply as the wavering. Do not take my elegance as a mask for frailty. Wavering is a sign of weakness. Finesse is a condition one
Metamorph,
should assume
someone who can
in
transform
any
themselves to best suit
situation,
combat.
From dining to discourse to dueling. Very
I
well.
think I want that. I
Onwards
think I'm going to
then
make him a
victory
metamorph.
or-
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile.
Now, as
Ooh.
you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord.
I will be calling you none of these things. You will answer to Old Iron Balls, or perhaps Oi You. These are the names that you now go by.
As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings.
No, but you could carry mine. Your royal backside.
Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
There will be. I am a jester. There will be zero protocol. Awesome. So let's just check his gear. You there? So I think this is right. You use I mean, it's guesswork in it, but the class choosing thing at the start showed the metamorph with a spear. So I'm gonna roll with it. It showed it like spear and really heavy looking armor. So that's probably going to be the case. He's got lots of persuasion. He has got lots of persuasion. And like nothing else in civil abilities. He's got two-handed and polymorph. So the two-handed is going to cover this. Polymorph, you get attribute points whenever you invest points in it. So, and largely strength-based. Okay, so, but this scales with finesse. So that's... Is that right? Does he want fin? Yeah, he's got some finesse. He's got 12. I'm thinking he's primarily strength. So do I want... I guess the question is here, do I want to swap into a strength-based weapon or stay with finesse and focus on that? I don't know. You guys know more about this game than me. Myself, however, I've got to level up. So, let's level those up. Let's pile summoning up. Yeah, look, every level gives 10% more vitality damage, physical armor, and magic armor for my, yeah. Flip a coin! That is the other option, isn't it? Leadership is a thing, and I need to keep that in mind because it's really useful. So I'm a lawmaster? Yes, that sounds about right. I'm going to be a lawmaster. I'm going to be a crazy awesome lawmaster. Identifying shit, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So one thing I'm not using at the moment, guys, is because I've got the definitive edition, I've got all of these gift bag features that you can activate, like the base maximum action points of hero characters to 8, the black cat into a follower, plant your own herb garden, restore source points whenever a character rests, like all of this crazy stuff that we can do. But here's the thing. It skills to scale the strength, right? If you activate, I think, any of those gifts, damage bonus based on strength. Oh, he's got the Dragon's Breath thing as well. Nice. Poly works best with warfare. Oh, so he should be just like a melee, beat things down character. I can deal with that. I'm okay with having the Red Prince be a big-ass two-hander wielding nut job that keeps changing into other animals. Because why not? Ooh, penny buns. Those are for healing potions. Not great for me, but for other party members who aren't already dead. Wonderful. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Black cat. Some would see this as an omen.
Well.
It seems we're not the only ones taking on strays.
Where's the black cat? There it is.
Oh, no need to be...
Hello. Sorry, yes, by activating the action points thing is
with acute intensity.
Give me a sec. Cat stares at me with acute intensity.
What? How did I get? Hey, stop following me.
You approach me.
What? No, that can't be. I can't. Hey, stop following me.
Are you okay?
Huh? Yeah, fine. I'm fine.
Get your Captain America on with the bouncing shield. Oh, there's a Captain America ability.
A little foggy.
Where did you come
Cat
from?
opens his mouth as if to speak, but his eyes lose focus, and with a jerk he turns away from you.
Okay. We have a cat. It's following us. That's just how things are. Great.
What's this?
Ooh.
I found something, so this is worth the digging.
He's like a doggo. What are this? Ooh. Fancy bow. Leather armor. Don't mind if I do. I'm going to put it on my main character. Because I'm greedy like that. The Red Prince can fend for himself. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, as far as I know, if you put any of those gift bag modifiers on, it means you can't get achievements. And this is my first run through of the game. I'd like to be able to get achievements. It's Fane.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that
And Greedy works too.
before it sank. He's still not wearing his mask. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
You leave that poor man's face alone.
How
It's
on
not your
earth
face.
am I supposed to?
That's not your face.
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation! That stuck fast.
Look, I probably should put the armor on my melee character. That
The
is...
beard act as some form of anchor.
That is fair. Cough politely.
No! Stay back! Don't! Oh,
Hey, Fane.
it's you.
Hey, buddy.
I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected.
Why'd you head for a prison
It
island?
seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for.
This guy.
I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the
I don't think he's
slip.
figured it out, Lito. I don't think
Thus-
he has.
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
What is your business with
Why,
that body?
its face, of course. What other use would I have for some rotting corpse?
Of course.
A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull.
They do tend to be.
I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body.
Delicately, but viciously, rip the face. No.
I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool,
Lend him your knife. Yes, show me
Skeleton
then.
grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Why do you need a mask?
because my own was stolen from me. And the idea of being chased across Rivellon by every idiot with a torch does not appeal. I hardly need to tell you how these savages react to seeing bone.
There you go. He knows. He knows we're undead.
Oh, get away! Monster! Hide the children! You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... well, not my kind, but those that look like me. So, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features.
You've washed up on the shores of Fort Joy. This is a prison. You're not traversing
Oh,
anything.
don't be ridiculous. I have important things to do on Reaper's Coast.
Oh,
I
fair.
cannot simply sit about waiting for the rest of you to die so I may continue my business in peace. No, I may be an eternal, but my patience has its limits.
An eternal.
Indeed, I may be the only eternal. My people seem rather absent, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps
Who
there
dis?
I'll find my answers.
An eternal? What is that? Some sort of cult?
A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was needed. We were all one.
Eternals? Isn't that Marvel movie?
I could ask you to imagine.
Yeah, it's a new Marvel
creature
film, Lito,
of
exactly.
Incredible intelligence and skill, but I fear the limits of your imagination. Do us justice. We studied
Accurate.
the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. We will have our world again.
Why are you still here if your people have
Well,
vanished?
that hardly seems relevant. But if you must know, I was inconvenienced.
So, he's saying he's not an undead, and that this skeletal appearance is his natural form, right? That's what he's
Several centuries,
stating.
in fact. Or perhaps millennia. One tends to lose track.
God, what?
I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. It seems our king did not agree that the universe should be explored to its full potential.
Ooh.
Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if flowers would be appropriate.
Should I get my absent race flowers?
Ah, well, that is the curious thing. They are clearly absent from this world, and yet they are everywhere. Every one of your races resembles them in some manner, and the statues you have built to your gods look remarkably familiar.
Did his race become the gods?
Perhaps my people have ascended to some new realm.
Or
Perhaps
maybe the
your
gods are like, yeah,
gods
blowing
are
out of
merely a
proportion
folk memory.
what they were. Hmm.
Regardless, they are not here. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them.
I love that number one is basically, it sounds like you need a friend.
I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful.
It would work out better for both of us.
Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you noticed that I am
They were the
rather skilled
Forerunners.
in,
God
well,
damn it!
all things.
They're everywhere.
Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So,
Okay,
which do you require for this enterprise of yours?
so the other two character types that I'd like to bring with us are some form of archer to make use of all the crazy arrows we'll find. If DOS 1 is anything to go by. And a rogue to be our thievery and backstabbing specialist. Now, considering that he's undead, I'd keep his normal. Mages are the best. I was going to say, considering that he's undead, I could use his bony fingers and thievery to make him into our backstabber. But chat is saying, keep his normal, be a wizard. This game benefits from focusing on a damage type, physical or magical. Yeah, I have heard of that. I have heard that. Like this game absolutely because of the split armor system, right? Because you've got normal armor and magical armor, and if you focus on one of those, the other one literally doesn't matter. Like if you focus your whole party on magical damage, then enemies' physical armor just doesn't matter. But as Vortan pointed out to me, that's easy mode, and I'm going to try and put together a traditional party. So I've got my summoner, I've got my metamorph to be my tanky two-hander, I need an archer, and I need a rogue. It's basically like, that's what I'm after. Now, there's nothing to say that archer can't also have some healing, or that rogue can't have some magic, because obviously this game really lets you mix and match like that. But I've already got the summoner, so I don't want another intelligence-based caster, right? Someone to cast Fireball and someone to cast Revivify. Yes, yeah, that's exactly how all these games work. The rogue should be Ifan, but he doesn't have bony fingers. I'm going to save myself a fortune in lockpicks if it's him. Right? I'm not wrong, though. Some NPCs have 6,000 armor of one type and 500 of another. Noted. That's clearly to stop you from doing the 1 damage type build, right? You have 2 out of 3 undead, now you're already splitting the party. Right, so I'm going to make an executive decision here. We can get another wizard later, because there's more characters than we can have in our party, right? So go full undead.
Ah, you seek a more subtle
I would
approach.
like
How surprisingly
a
civilized.
straight up...
Very
Ooh. Well, here's the
do you
thing.
require?
Here's the thing. Maybe we tell him that we'd like the kind of person who can pick a pocket, then retreat to the shadows and throw a spell or two. A shadow blade. Maybe we do that. Then I have my roguey backstabber, but he's also got magic. Become the Lich King and just undead. I'm going to go with the Shadow Blade.
I'm
gonna find out what this is.
Now, splendid.
First playthrough, hardest difficulty. Let's go.
Very well.
Let's be off.